Hey, good morning, Sinora. How are you doing?
Morning, Jatin. I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, it's a Saturday morning, eh?
Yeah, it's a Saturday morning and a colder one.
And a colder one here in Toronto. I agree with
Ye-
you. Absolutely, absolutely. So, who do we have today? Who is the guest today with us?
Oh, well, we have Amogh here, and he's from India. He's from Mumbai, and he's working with Quinox as a senior manager. So, yeah, we are so glad, Amogh, to have you here today.
Thank you very
Hey,
much for
Amok,
welcoming me.
how are you doing?
I'm doing good. जतीन कसा आहेस तू?
मी बरा आहे. तुम्ही कसा आहे?
मी पण मस्त आहे. एकदम झकास आहे एकदम.
एकदम चकास. चांगलं आहे. सगळं चांगलं आहे
एकदम
तिकडे?
एकदम सगळं चांगलं आहे देवाच्या कृपेने. All good. By God bless.
Wow,
Nice.
what language was that? I could catch some words, but yeah, what language was that?
It was Marathi, which is the local language of state of Maharashtra where I'm belonging.
Amazing. Yeah, this sounds, the words are all familiar, but it amazes me how, we have so many
So,
amazing languages. Yeah.
absolutely,
Absolutely.
absolutely. So,
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead, Sinora.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, we know Amogh, you participated also in Access Agile,
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
you presented there as well. So I think it would be great if, to our listeners, you could give a small introduction, let them know about yourself, and yeah.
Yeah. So basically, I am Amogh Sukhatankar. I have more than 2 decades of work experience in IT. Currently, I am working as a senior manager in IT company called Quinox here in Mumbai, India. I am a PMP certified IT professional. I am holding PMP for more than 12 plus years now. I do have ITIL V3 Lean Six Sigma Green Belt. Also, I am a personal agility recognized practitioner. And also, I do have a Scale Agile Framework certified Scrum Master and also product on the product management. And I am working as a delivery manager as per my profile. I'm managing more than 10 plus accounts here in Mumbai, where I'm managing some of the project in Agiles and some of the project in the traditional waterfall model. And I'm managing end-to-end delivery of the entire accounts of Indian customer and also the UK-based customers. Yeah, that's my quick introduction, Sinora.
That's
Nice.
amazing. That's a lot of certificates and a lot of delivery, I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Amok, tell me how did you come across Agile then in that case? Like, was it like
Uh,
thrown upon you, or was it like you were told because, in India, like because QNX, I understand, is a service provider, so you serve your
Absolutely.
clients, and
Yeah.
the client said, "Oh, no, you guys have to work on Agile." So, tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I got introduced to the Agile in way back in 2015, where I was working in a Capgemini. Okay, wherein we are working in one of the top four, firm called Ernst and Young. Okay, wherein they have decided to move to the Scale Agile framework. And when I heard that word Scale Agile framework, what was it? And till that time, I was managing entire projects, being a PMP certified so-called project manager. I was working as a pure project manager, tracking the delivery in all Microsoft project plan, everything. And they told us we are moving into Scale Agile framework. And it was a completely a change for us, which is completely a change. We are not knowing what Scale Agile framework was, how it was, and we were not in any idea. So before going that, in 2014, luckily we do have a one person in Pinox, sorry, in Capgemini only, who was a few few during that time in the top 10 person who has completed the SPC. He was a part of Capgemini during meantime. He introduced a world called Agile to me in 2015 January, and from 2015 till 2021, my Agile journey started. So we got introduced to the Agile basics of Agile training has been given. Then we introduced the Scale Agile framework, and later on I gave certification of Scale Agile framework certified Scrum Master and also product owner, product manager. So I was playing as a role of a Scrum Master. I was managing offshore release train engineer, also playing for managing around 6 plus agile teams from Capgemini office from Noy Mumbai. And I was exposed to the agile for more than there for 3 plus years. Later on in Quinox, I have joined because of my agile forte. I was completely managing one engagement wherein they have completely transformed from waterfall to the agile, where I have set the overall agile processes. I have trained them, I have coached them. So that was a very good experience, Sinora and Jatin, wherein I have myself got trained, and later on, whatever the knowledge I have captured, I have transferred to my team members. What I believe, if you share the knowledge, your knowledge will get increased, and you will learn on top of it. So that is the way I have, grown myself into agile.
Nice, nice.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So I think I have a question,
Yeah,
Amogh. So we all talk about all the agile principles, values, and all of those things, and they seem pretty easy and straightforward. Like,
absolutely.
it's not that difficult. But while we are adopting them, we see a lot of resistance, a lot of change happening. And since you move from PMP to agile, I'm sure, from silos to working collaboratively, all those things just happen, and like, you're suddenly
Yeah,
talking about those things. How was the experience, like, all this change from being PMP to agile, or from silos to collaborative, or asking these simple principles that seems like simple, but when we are implementing, they don't seem that simple at all. So yeah,
absolutely.
why don't you talk
Yeah,
something like that? Yeah.
yes. So basically, you are rightly pointed, Sinora. I was myself was being questioned. Why are we changing? Are we not going? I'm working in industry for before that 15 years. I was exposed to all the traditional waterfall model. I was myself questioned to my supervisor, why are you moving this? What value are we going to provide it? So that was my first question, which I asked my supervisor, my boss. And he told me, Amok, as definitely understanding being the top four consulting firm, definitely they must have thought process. And then after going through the training, normally if you have seen all the traditional waterfall model, we were having less collaboration. And if once we move from waterfall to agile, we do a lot of collaboration within the team. To give one of the example, Sinora and Jatin, wherein when I have started our first PI, okay, we have failed miserably. We have failed miserably. We have committed some of the user stories, and not a single user story we have committed. Sorry, we are not able to deliver not a single user story to the customer, and entire team was completely demotivated, and they were questioning. Earlier we were delivering, nobody was having any question. We were having a lot of time to make up that time frame. And but on the same day, agile coach was there who has told us, if you're failing, no problem, but we are human being. That is the one golden statement which has told me. While telling also, I'm getting goosebumps, by the way. So what he has told us, that you can learn from a mistake. We are a human being, we can do the mistake, but learn from the mistake and don't do the same mistake again. That is the one golden principle which he has told us, and today, still today, I'm following the same golden principle. Otherwise, we will not learn. So we can do the mistake, but we should have to learn. On top of it, then our entire PR, sprint one we failed, sprint two we failed, sprint three out of 10 user stories which we have committed, if I correctly remember, we can able to 80%. Then at that time our team feel got motivated. Wow, we have delivered
Yeah.
something. And
Yeah.
later on, those user story when we are shown to the product owner, he was just feeling happy. Now team was failed. First two sprint, entire 1 month has been gone. We were not doing what those, why we are failing. All retrospective we are doing. We are learning. And later on, you will not believe, Sinor and Jatin, our velocity was increasing. PI1 to PI2. We have managed around more than 10 PIs. And after each PI, our velocity was increasing. And that was a good learning experience for me. One very good observation which I would like to say, the agile world say is agile normally speaks in binary, 0 or 1. Either we have delivered it or we have not delivered it. So normally we do have a time frame. Normally if you're doing any sprint planning or what we do, either we have delivered the sprint goal or we are not delivered the sprint goal. And one beauty which I liked about moving from waterfall to the to the agile world, we were not having that much interaction with our entire stakeholders, entire product owner, product management team, which was completely missing in traditional waterfall model. I used to connect with my business analyst, so-called at that time, once in a month. And if I have any question, I used to connect. But here, uh, I was having connecting every week, and that was a good kind of change. And That is a very specific reason we were having good cordial relationship and where entire team was working very collaboratively. We were using Microsoft Team as a channel, and we used to ping the product owner. This user story has been developed. Would you like to see? So we used to have frequent show and tell to the product owner, which has helped us to get early feedback from the product owner. So every Friday we used to have the sprint demos, but all those early early show and tell was helping us. So yes, it was a quite challenging for me myself because being so-called traditional command control project manager to move to the servant agile leadership. So it was, I need to change myself, my entire thought process. And I normally say it is completely overhauling I need to do. Moving from traditional so-called project manager, creating the plan, assigning the task. And so basically push culture to pull culture for myself, it has become completely changed. So this is the good learning experience. And now I prefer, I'm being very open. I prefer to work in agile kind of project that is rather than uh, you know uh, uh, waterfall. You will just to give another example on top of it. We have recently started one of the engagement in my current organization, Quinox, where we have proposed a overall entire delivery model in waterfall. But I have showcased one of the case studies and I have shown them this is the value you will get it. You will get frequently MVP products rather than getting entire product after 6 months. I will show it some of the features every after 1 month. They liked it, and just week back I have kickstarted that engagement. So it was a good experience for me, which whatever I have captured since January 2015, and today we are around 6 years journey. But I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Frankly speaking.
Mm. Yeah, if you can enjoy the journey, it is much better. Otherwise, like, oh my God, where did I fall into? Let me go back to what I
Absolutely.
was doing before.
Yes. Same
Right?
statement I said earlier. When we fell internally, I was not saying to my team, I was doing really well in waterfall. Why have I changed? This question I have not told in front of team, but in back of the mind, I was always saying that question.
Yeah, it's fun to have that transformation because you're yourself transforming while
Yes.
you're asking others to be transformed too. So it's like, yeah, it's a whole journey to be transformed. And from where you start in the beginning, like I know when I
Yeah.
started to my thought process now, it is completely changed. Like if I go back in time, I would do a lot of things a lot differently.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think Jatin, do you have any question? I
Yeah.
can,
So, yeah,
yeah.
sure. So Amok, when you were facing these challenges, like,
Yeah.
what were the what do you think, what would be the tips or tricks that you use to overcome them? Like maybe in your team, because as you mentioned, right,
Yeah.
the first two sprints were down, like you
Yeah.
were not able to deliver first two, and then of course the team gets demotivated that, oh
Yes.
my God, like, did Amok took the right decision of going into this, or they would question themselves saying that, okay, am I on the right project with Amok into it, right? So
Ye-
how did you motivate them, or what way did you see that they stuck around and things start moving?
Yes. So, where so when first sprint happened, okay, we failed. So we as agile coach was there. He was observing us how we are doing sprint retrospective. Okay, what went well, what did not went, what we can do better, and everybody was openly speaking, and we were started documenting all those things. Yes, we did a lot of mistakes, but I told them, okay, jot down the mistakes and all the learnings. We should try to add it in our planning. Again, it should come back. Definitely agile coach was there who has helped us, who has mentored us, who has trained us during that time. That has helped me because I myself was just so-called 15 months 15 days old in so-called scrum. So I was myself learning under agile coach. Having said that, I was frequently connecting with the team so that there has to be a more motivation within them. I do not want my team should get demotivated. So I was having I was taking the team to the offline discussion in a cafeteria. I was asking them because there were some of the freshers, they were just exposed to this agile world. So I don't want they should, because at the start of the career, I don't want they should lose the focus itself. I was speaking offline, no problem. We can do the mistakes, but try to see what best we can do. Where we did a mistake, try to document those mistakes and try to overcome those mistakes, and you should not do the same mistake again. So that has helped me. Similarly, normally in one of, all these informal discussions normally help rather than getting the team into the, so-called meeting room and having discussion. Sometimes again it should say, okay, if I'm taking the status, but sometimes these informal discussions, Jatin, it has helped me a lot. In addition to this, we were using a TFS tool called Team Foundation Server to tracking all those things, and we were documenting all the retrospective, all the learnings there, and we used to revisit those if we do, if we done any mistake or something, and that has helped us to improve from the learnings. So learnings are very much key here, and along with this, we have started implementing a CI/CD pipeline down the line, because we did a lot of mistakes because of the so-called CI/CD pipeline was not there. We have started implementing CI/CD pipeline post PI one, if I correctly remember, and because of that, overall journey had got smooth, because we did a lot of mistake. Branching was not proper, and team were new, and entire process was new, because earlier we all traditional, manual deployment was going on, and there were, and as I told, there were some freshers were there who were doing mistakes, and because of that, releases were getting on field. So to summarize, definitely we connect frequently. I connected frequently with my two Scrum teams. I normally give a lot of moral to them, so that they should not feel dejected, demotivated, and all those informal discussions within the team has definitely helped me to increase the morale, and so that they can feel motivated. Being very open, I was myself demotivated in the back of my heart, because because we were not able to deliver. As I told, two sprints, very poor productivity from our entire team. But having said that, being a face for the customer, I definitely I need to should not show something on my face, but ensure that team should able to have motivation, and and that has helped me, frankly speaking, Jatin.
Yeah, that is great. So, like you mentioned about, feedback and retrospectives and how you guys used to like take
Yeah,
feedback very positively. So I think feedback and all this retrospective culture is very important in agile adopting, and
yeah.
this is one of our key things that we do. So how did this help you? Like how was the team taking, like, their motivation when some negative feedback came in, or when you have a retrospective within the team and somebody says, okay, I did not get aligned, or the collaboration, you are seeing that people are not opening up, or the collaboration is not happening the way you wanted. So how did you get the team to talking in the room, or
Yeah.
getting the feedback positively?
Yeah. So basically, I have told the team, very, because whenever we are having customer call, also I used to tell team, be open, be transparent, don't feel, dejected if you said something wrong. No problem. We can do the mistakes, and again, what are the, because everybody was part of that agile coach who was trained us. So I used to always tell, remember the person who has taught us, who is the agile coach, who himself is in agile journey for more than 15 plus years. Okay, so definitely all those learnings were helpful. Having said that, whenever we used to have any discussion with the team, I used to tell the team, please be open, transparent, give the clear picture. If you have done a mistake, please do not feel dejected. What something will feel bad. If I said something wrong, people will feel, oh, they should, they should feel sometimes back foot. I think that sense sometimes, I said, no problem, guys. You can very openly, you can say to the customer, this is the clear picture what you want to give, because all this, whatever the work which you are doing is clearly visible to the customer. You can't hide what we used to do in traditional waterfall model, because we were having a lot of time to play around. As you rightly mentioned, collaboration was very much key in entire, agile transformation. Why? Because we were because of because all PI plannings, someone from the product management team used to visit from USA to our office. We used to have all the PI planning meetings, so we were having face-to-face PI planning we did. So that's the reason. Sometimes, normally if they're having any call on a remote, on Microsoft Teams or something, or any of the channel, sometimes this remote way of working is good, but sometimes if the same meeting is happening face to face, your comfort level get increased, and it has helped us. So that is called co-location. And so the team used to visit from USA during the PI planning, and they used to be with us during that particular time. So it has helped us. So the team was very open. We used to discuss all the PI planning all the ceremonies, PI planning ceremonies, all the learning ceremonies, all those things we are having within the same premises. And co-location is always play a key role to answer your question, Sinora, wherein we have ensured that we do have ODC for our Camp Gemini. It's another Mumbai, but we have ensured that the team which is working as a one Scrum team, they will sit together. We have made some arrangement also so that kind of agile way of we did some kind of analysis, and the way the sit culture sitting arrangement also we have made so that team can work very collaboratively. On top of it, the we have started implementing Kanban. Okay, um, uh, so we are using Scrum as we are using Scale Agile framework. It was having flavor of Scrum. It was having flavor of Lean. It was having flavor of Kanban. We have started documenting or started publishing all those sprint reports on the Kanban, and we are starting applying WIP limit. So I will give one of the example wherein one person was trying to work on two user story parallelly, and that is the very specific reason he was neither able to concentrate, not a single, because parallel he was shifting. I told him stop. You should do only one user story. So I applied WIP limit. Do it. This is the priority. Do it. Close it. And in addition to this, I have used a lot of extreme programming practices, which I have came to know after PI2, if I'm not wrong, where my Agile coach taught me you can start using pair programming, wherein I was not knowing what the pair programming is, but it has helped me a lot tremendously. Why? Because earlier, sometimes we used to, one person was working on a particular defect and he was to struggle. Then my Agile coach told me, start using pair programming. I was not knowing what pair programming was. He told me, ask another person who is more senior assigned next to him, and you will not believe this has helped me a lot because two brains are using and solving that particular problem, that particular defect, or that particular user story, and just improved our overall turnaround time of delivering user story also sometimes. Why? Because more focus was being the topmost item, which is more critical. That has also helped us tremendously, Sinora.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. And your co-location, I can totally imagine all the desis sitting and having dal makhni or something. I mean, the food
Kanda.
marathon that
No,
goes on.
it would be more of idli dosas than dal
Oh,
makhani
yeah.
or
Yeah, maybe the vada paos and all the chapatis sitting in in the
yeah,
marathon.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I can imagine that, at least because his team was all based out of Chennai, right? So you would have people coming in and idli dosas, and of course
Oh,
vada pavs are
nice.
the famous things over there.
Yes, absolutely. They used to
Yeah.
roasted add vada pav. They used to roasted add vada pav and samosa pav. Being a
Don't do
Mumbaiker,
two
I know.
stories. Eat a vada pav and do one story.
No. Being
Yeah,
a
that's
Mumbaiker, vada pav is a must once in a month for sure.
that's what
Absolutely. I
that's
agree
what.
with you. Definitely. If you don't eat vada pav, then you are not been to Mumbai or not had that Mumbai dish, right?
Yes, in lockdown, I missed vada pav a lot because there was no vendor who was allowed. But post lockdown, immediately had a first dish which was vada pav.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's some amazing insight, Amog. And I think the concept that you talked about, two parallel things, like we always talk about stop starting and start finishing, that really reflected like how you were targeting your team to start completing the work, not spilling over, start
Absolutely.
completing what you are committing yourself to. The sprint commitments comes a lot into play in these things, and sprint goal values come into play. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's really amazing.
And how many teams were you managing among during
Uh,
your PI plannings and otherwise running it?
I
Like
was
not at like initially it would be small, but like
yeah.
over time, like how did you start off and how
So
many
so
teams came in?
yeah. So basically, we have started with the four product teams. Okay, the fourth Scrum team was there, and later on we have got another product. So we have got six Scrum teams were working parallelly. So I was managing two Scrum teams for one of the bigger product, which itself was a so one product was having more features and another product was not that much kind of important from the customer perspective. So the user story were less sometime, but I was managing around 2 Scrum teams. To answer your question, Jatin, around 12, 12 members team I was managing.
Oh, nice. And
Amazing.
was your client like okay with you all going into Agile, or what the demand came from them saying that, okay, guys, if you want this project, you need to be on Agile, or else you went to the client and say, you know what, we will execute. This is our framework of project delivery. We are using Agile, and this is how collaboration will happen with you. Like how did that happen?
Yes. So what has happened, Jatin? So it was came to us from the customer. So we did not have any option. So we did not have any option. We are working. We are the same project. We started a development in the waterfall model, and later on, I don't know. We were delivering by the project on time and everything. But there must be some strategic decision which has happened at the customer side, and they have decided. We do a lot of scaling framework. We do less. We do safe. The other scaling frameworks are there. Scrum at scale, less is there, Scrum at scale is there, but they must have put the thought process of applying safe. So safe came to us safely in our land, frankly speaking. So we have not been asked, but we have been told that you need to get move within 1.5 months from traditional waterfall model to the scale agile framework. So that was the mandate came to our delivery head, and around 60 odd people got trained within 1.5 months with basics of agile, lean, and later on actually the scale agile framework. So I myself got trained on scale agile framework certified scrum master, and also the product owner, product manager, and also the team members were got trained on the team member level, and some of the architects were did that agilist safe agilist training. So, and that was a very good experience, frankly speaking, because I got, by going to the safe, I got to understand flavor of Scrum, Kanban, and later definitely I myself got trained on Kanban. So basically all those, earlier I was exposed to the lean, but I got more, get insights of using all those agile frameworks cohesively in using safe. So to answer your question, we got customers told us to move it to the safe scale agile framework, and that is where my journey started.
That is great. Yeah.
Yeah, my case was something similar. Like, of course, years back. This was again in 2002, if I understand. We were like doing an on-site offshore model, and we were told before 2002, and we were told that okay, it has to be extreme programming. So because we had teams sitting in the US and teams sitting in India, and I was managing both my teams, and it was a continuous development. So that means when India would go to sleep, US would be doing, we would do the handshake, pass it
Yeah.
off, and they would start working. And next morning, the handshake would happen again, and we would start working, and they would go to sleep. So, and at that time, we had our own CIDC pipeline.
Wow.
Okay, okay,
That's like
and
from historical era or
yeah,
something like
and
way back.
I know we were using. I'm just remembering it. We were using Maven as one of the tools, and if anybody broke the branch or the code, you had to pay for it. Simple as that.
Yeah.
So every
Yeah.
time the traffic lights have to be green, otherwise something is broken, and then oh god, it's like it's a chaos, right?
It's a
Digging
chaos.
it out and everything. So yeah, I do
Yeah.
remember, definitely.
Absolutely. And I think this has a lot to do, even Jatin, from your time when you started, or Amogh, when you started. I think it has a lot to do from agile mindset. Like we always talk about the
Mm,
culture, the mindset that we have to bring that change in the
Yes.
culture of the organization to be able to adapt agile into the organization. So I
Yes.
think I would want to ask you about, like, you got told by your clients that you have to start agile, and now suddenly you guys are all getting trained into agile, but then the agile mindset doesn't come overnight, right? Just to do 2 days of training will not make you agile suddenly overnight. So how did that cultural change happen within the organization, since you got pushed into agile, but
Yes.
now that is something you are adopting yourself into?
Yes. So this cultural change it does not happen immediately. It has happened very, very gradually we have moved. So earlier myself, because being a traditional push culture, which I was doing. I was assigning the task, everything I was assigning. So myself, I was getting demotivated. I'm a scrum master. What am I supposed to do? Team are pulling the user story. So I need to change my mindset first. If my mindset is not changed, if I'll go with still command control, definitely the project will not. Then I'm being an anti agile person in this, and I'm so called playing a scrum master role. So back with the mind, I need to change my mindset first of all.
You're
Definitely
the ninja
organization.
warrior. Yeah.
So basically, I need to change my mindset first. Definitely, team needs to be also change their mindset and culture, because earlier they were getting the work what they're supposed to do. So now they have to pull from the sprint backlog. That is the another mindset that they have to change, because it is, and it has. In Simor, I'm being very open and transparent. For me to have this change for myself and for my team, we are not being who will pull, and this has created a lot of havoc, because one person I need to work these stories. Someone I used to, then definitely I used to tell, okay, decide whom will do, but ensure that we should deliver it. So that is one thing.
Yeah.
In addition to this, overall, what problem I am facing, it is still, I'm being very open, there are still the overall account which you are working is working agile mindset, but surrounding support systems such as HR or all others still are kind of, because kind of a so-called, not agility is not there, they are still working in a traditional way of working. So that is where I feel what to say, a disconnect, wherein the overall organization unit or account is working agile, but overall surrounding supporting systems have were not agile. We myself started learning, implementing all those agile principle and manifesto. What we did, I will tell you frankly, we have tested all the agile principle and manifesto on every individual desk. And also there was a one, if you open any scale agile framework website, okay, that is a one beautiful, that team program level, all those, that image is there, right, that we have published. So what PI planning? So nobody was aware. So if, see, this overall agile culture needs to get imbibed. Basically you have to suck out your old blood, and you have to pull something new in your blood. Then only this will happen. It will not happen immediately.
The
So
real
this,
transformation.
yes, real it took a lot of time to change. For myself, I'm telling you, it
Yeah.
took me around more than 3 months, precisely 3 months to change my mindset. Same
Yeah.
with my team. Some team members were completely new, so they have adapted that culture very easily. But people who have worked in a push culture, for them it was a completely little bit tricky one.
Yeah.
Another thing, the overall learnings. See what has happened. Once we start implementing all the learnings immediately in the next sprint, our productivity was got improved properly, and this has helped the team also to feel motivated basically. So that is a good thing which has happened along with
Yeah.
along with, yes, the HR. One thing I was telling, that support function. But what I told my HR, who was based out in Hyderabad during that time, I told my management that we want HR should be also locally based from Noy Mumbai. So we have changed the HR, and preferably that HR is to connect once in a month to the team, because earlier HR was based out from Hyderabad, so there was no that much connect. So team were having a lot of issues because of this, because the cultural change, the way of working. Sometimes they used to come to the pressure. So I told the team, HR, to have more frequent visit to the ODC days, to visit. The HR is to connect. We have started, because the collaboration was there, more bonding we should have. We started implementing. This is nothing to do with Agile, but to increase the morale, because we started celebrating birthdays, some kind of quick wins we have started celebrating. We used to applaud if one person did something. We used to applaud that this person has did a good job. Sometimes customers to appreciate. So what we used to do, we used to publish his name in the ODC wall. So he feel get motivated. Wow, my name has been published there. So all
Yeah.
these small things we did it, and I will tell you, we हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना, हम लोगों ने झाड़ के बीज डाले to reach to that level. It took time. झाड़ बना हमारा, but it took time. But that is the way which we did, frankly speaking.
And I'm sure you
Sinora.
must have had a lot of Atamaji Satakli movements as a scrum master with your stakeholders and your organization. I just know that dialogue. I just know that dialogue of
No,
Marathi, but
no,
I'm
no,
sure.
no. See, today also I said, I don't say that is, I don't know. आता माझं डोकं फिरू नकोस. Sometimes I used to say, अरे क्या कर रहा है तू? Sometimes I used to say that, आता माझ्यासाठी I used to say that, not that word, that is a kind of so-called Singham word, but I used to another word for me. So people do mistake, and sometimes I need to control my emotional expression, and that is where my
Absolutely.
face should be and heart should say something different. I
Yeah,
should not show my
totally.
emotions on my face. Never.
Good,
Absolutely.
good. It has been a good journey for you. That means, yeah, Amogh?
Yeah.
It is a good learning experience, Jatin. It is a very good
Yeah,
learning
yeah.
experience for me. Agile was a very, in my life, I will say, mention that it is a very good, I will cherish that, the way I was working, the way I am working today. My way of working itself got changed. My way of working today also, my way of working has completely changed what I used to work in 2013 as a project manager. It has completely changed. So I give example also, right? We have told customer to go to the agile way of working. And I have presented a case study and it has helped that customer where we have given the proposal itself from traditional waterfall model. Way back 1.5 years back, there are a lot of discussion happened. And now I have proposed just a week back and they like it. And from waterfall, we are moving to agile way of working. So that itself, I should say it's a pat on my back wherein I can able to convince the customer to go to the agile way of working.
Nice, nice. So thanks, Amogh. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you very
And it
much.
was nice
Thank
chatting
you.
with you.
Yeah,
Definitely.
thank you so much, Amogh. This was great. This was great insight, definitely.
Thank you very much, Sinora, and thank you very much, Jatin.
Okay,
It
thank
was
you very
pleasure.
much.
It was pleasure to have you both, and thank you very much for inviting me here in this particular Agile World Indie platform. Much appreciated.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. All
Okay.
right.